Happened when you were born. Thank you for joining us today. I am Lanessa.
I'm Kiwi Sonic.
And today I'm going to be talking about my experience with natural birth in the hospital and natural birth in a birthing center. I'm going to be talking about the day you were born. Firstborn, I had him naturally in a hospital. And to know how I reacted when I found out I was pregnant, well, that's a whole different video that you have to check out. If you go to the description, I will also be leaving little timestamps. So you can see the actual, if you just want to skip to the video of actually seeing me giving birth, I will be showing, it's very graphic, and the birthing center of my second child. I will leave it in the description below. And if you like this video, have any comments, feel free to write it down. Subscribe. And like the video. Right?
Right.
So around 5:55, my water broke, and it broke a little bit. So I had to, it actually broke when I was bending down to put on my shoes to go downstairs, and I had a little water, yes, that came out, kind of like like if you pinch a water balloon, just a slow little leak. I was very confused. I kind of thought I peed on myself, and I didn't have no pains. Later on, it broke a little bit more. That's when I was really sure that my water was breaking. Within 2 hours, I was having a lot of pain. I decided to walk. I did not go to the hospital until 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
So yeah, like 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. So now we're in the hospital. My water broke about 3 times at this point. I had 1 more left. When the doctor checked me, she told me I have 1 more, and if they did pop naturally, that she was going to pop it, but it did pop naturally. When I was on the bed, it was very annoying because I had all these tubes and all this stuff on me, so I couldn't move the way I wanted to. I was kind of strapped to the bed. I didn't know the rules or regulations. I didn't know if I can get up or not. I didn't know if it was safe for me to get up or not, for me to be in different positions. So I was just laying there, just taking in the pain. There were so many people in the room, coming in and out of the room. So I didn't feel comfortable screaming or, breaking anything. It was just the nurse, the head nurse was horrible. I mean, I'm sure she's good at her job, but she was horrible in the sense that I told her that I wanted a, epidural free birth, a Pitocin free birth. And she was just kind of like, why are you doing this to yourself? When I got to the hospital, I was already 5 centimeters dilated, so they kept me. When I got to 6, I was opening up pretty quickly. I got to 7. I was opening up like every hour. I was dilating. When I got to 7, the nurse was like, why are you doing this to yourself? If you don't get it now, you won't be able to get it at all. And she was kind of just like, there's no point in you going through this pain. Like, why are you doing, and she was just like, you have 3. I was always interested in having a water birth. I was always interested in having a natural birth. But I was also very nervous because I have never given birth before. I didn't know how my body was going to handle it. I didn't know if I was going to end up needing a C-section. I didn't know if, if any complications would arise. I was very, very scared. And I just wanted and felt safer and more comfortable in a hospital for my first pregnancy. But there is thousands of women who give birth every day in a birthing center for their first pregnancy, and it turns out great. So I do not want my experience or what I did to influence you. So going through this pain, her kind of like putting all these things in my mind, me myself, I'm a Virgo, so naturally I'm over here analyzing the shit out of the situation, and I'm over here like wow, if this is 7 and I can't handle it, imagine 8, imagine 9, imagine 10. I didn't think I was gonna be able to, and I fell for it, and I was just I turned at my child's father and I said, I want the epidural. And what's crazy is we had discussed a birth plan prior to that, and I told him most likely I'm gonna, want the epidural. Don't let me, encourage me to do natural. And it never turns out how you planned. At this point, I was still in, my right state of mind. I quickly heard them say they were going to give me Pitocin. I told them I did not want any Pitocin, but I'm pretty sure they gave me Pitocin just because that's what they do after the epidural, because you won't dilate anymore because of the epidural. And I didn't. I did not dilate. It was about 8 in the morning, and that's when I just got at 9. When she checked me, she was like, you're not quite there yet, you're like at 9 something, but I didn't hit 10 yet. But I was just so over it, and I just wanted to meet my baby. And I don't even know if I made it to 10 to be honest, in a very safe environment. So in that sense, yes, it was great. In the sense of, I did feel like my child's father, really had nothing to do, no participation, just there holding a leg, compared to the birthing center, where it's like he's literally there with me and he's experiencing these things with me, and it was just an amazing opportunity. It was just an amazing experience. And I heard other women as well. So another tip that I can give you guys is that when you start moaning really, really hard, when that's it, you feel like that's it, you're gonna die, right? Like you feel like you're gonna explode. The baby comes right out after that. With my second pregnancy, I was a lot more comfortable. I knew what to expect. I knew how the contractions felt, and even though I could not handle it in my first time, with my second pregnancy right here, hi, I was determined, and I knew that if I gave myself the right atmosphere, I would be able to do it. And with that in mind, I found the Brooklyn Birthing Center, and that was my birthing center that I chose to have my baby girl. So with this little one right here, my experience was completely different. My water broke around 5 in the morning, and it actually broke because I coughed. I literally coughed. I felt a little something, and I thought I peed on myself. So now let's skip to the video. I was giving birth. Say hi. So when I called the Brooklyn Birthing Center, they told me to come in. I got there around 9 o'clock. They checked me right away. and I was not dilating. So they told me I cannot stay, but to go walking around and basically to walk around, to do some exercise to see if I can get the ball rolling with the dilating. It was about 3 o'clock and I still have not felt any pain. We were walking everywhere. We went to the local mall and nothing. So I decided to take castor oil. I put it in a smoothie. The smoothie consists of pineapples, which I heard is good for your cervix to like relax and to open up. So I had a lot of pineapple in there. And of course I put castor oil. I didn't drink the whole thing. It was a good, like I think it was an 8-ounce. I think it was an 8-ounce bottle, and I think I drank about 4 ounces of the smoothie. Around 3:30, started getting little pains, and I was still very nervous. I was still contemplating in my head whether I wanted to have this natural birth at a birthing center with no hospital equipment for emergencies. Of course, they do have basic equipment, and the local hospital was 20 minutes away. They would have an ambulance. I would get there within 15 to 20 minutes, guaranteed. But I was still very, very nervous. Once those pains kicked in and I got a reminder of how I quickly was changing my mind. I was telling my brother-in-law, just take me to the hospital where I originally gave birth in, because I just was scared. And since with my first, I had the epidural, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it. I had to do a lot of breathing. We ended up going to the Brooklyn Birthing Center anyways, and by the time I got there, I was in so much pain. I literally went from 0 to 5 to 10 within 2 hours. It's not so much the contraction pain that you can't handle, it's the fact that you have no break in between. By the time it's time to give birth, it's like consistently. Yes. You have no break in between, and that's what makes it so horribly painful. I did not rip, I did not tear. It was actually very amazing, a very crazy, intense, beautiful moment where my midwife is literally telling me, come Vanessa, get up, get in the water now. And I told her, I cannot. She is coming. My husband was amazing. He was doing everything that I told him to do. He was rubbing me in the right places. I also did a lot of research, and I found it best. But the best massages were in my lower back. When he would massage my lower back, that helped me immensely with the pain that I was going through. At one point I felt like I wasn't going to make it, and I was asking them to give me some drugs and give me some pain medication, and they were prepping the jacuzzi technically. When it was my turn to go in there, I did not make it, as you can see in the video. I actually gave birth on the bed because this little girl decided to come out.
Y esos ojitos. Hey. Hi, Mia. You remember me?
Just fine.
This is Titi.
Her umbilical cord was tied around her neck. However, it was only wrapped around once. So because she came out all in one push, they were able, she was very small, they were able to just, take it off, and thank God nothing happened. We had no complications. She was perfectly healthy, and we had this beautiful moment of, you did it, and a like superhuman feeling of, yes, I listened to my body. I did what my body wanted. I was able to scream and moan, which I think is a huge part on a huge reason why I was able to. It went from 0 to 100 very quickly. I didn't have to push when the doctor told me to push. I literally pushed when my body told me to, because I couldn't even go against it, even if I wanted to. It felt so good, that final push out when she came out. And I didn't tear, I didn't rip, because I literally was listening to my body every step of the way. It was an amazing experience, and in my opinion, if I had to give birth again, I would totally do the birthing center. I think the only downfall is that I did have to leave at 12 o'clock midnight that same day. I gave birth around 6:58, if I'm not mistaken. And at 12 o'clock, it was like, okay, see ya. You had no complications. Goodbye. But of course, they enforce that you rest at home and kind of rehabilitate at home, not there. I did not have a doula for many reasons. I didn't have a doula because she came 2 weeks in advance. So I was in the process of meeting my doula and getting a doula. And my daughter was like, nope, no, you don't understand. I was like, I want the epidural now. And I was very aggressive, I was told. So a lot of people were scared to be my doula. But remember, guys, don't get discouraged. Don't think that because you have a birth plan that it's gonna go like that, or don't feel bad if it doesn't. Go as you planned. And whether you want a water birth, whether you end up giving birth on your way there, in the hospital, in a bed, whether you got C-section, whatever happens, it's okay. So that was my experience on hospital birth versus a birthing center and water birth. Hope you liked it. So like and share this video for anyone else. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Say thank you, Mama. Say thank you, Mama.